Joel Griffith is the Heritage Research Fellow. He joins us now. Joel, good morning. Happy Friday to you. Really, it is a happy Friday because we've had several big wins for trade under this country's belt. Do you see more jobs coming back to the U.S. as a result of China and USMCA?
I don't know about jobs coming back to the U.S., but I definitely see a lot more jobs in general, and that's the goal. This is going to really give businesses a lot more certainty when it comes to investment. That means more things will be produced here. It means more innovation will occur here. That does enhance jobs across a number of sectors. And I think very importantly, this is actually going to restore savings to American consumers. These tariffs that we've seen the past 2 years, they've added $500 to $1,000 per family every year. These are needless costs. This is a needless tax on American consumers. And thankfully, most of these are going to be going by the wayside this coming year.
Well, they're still on, though. And that's one of the enforcement mechanisms to ensure that China does comply, though. The tariffs are on.
Yeah, a good number.
They'll be reduced, but...
Yeah, for the China agreement, a number of the tariffs will be reduced but stay in place. And thankfully, the ones that were threatened for now will not be implemented. But the tariffs that are remaining in place in the China deal, that's still to the tune of about $60 billion per year. And that is a substantial cost on consumers.
Well, you know, speaking of USMCA, and this was interesting, there were 10 senators have voted against it. And one of them was a Republican, Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania. And that was kind of his point. He said, you know, USMCA is great for workers. It's not great for consumers because it might mean higher prices. Would you respond to that? I
think overall we need to look at the big picture here. And there are some concerns with USMCA, particularly with the labor provisions, environmental provisions that were put in place. That's an inappropriate tool using a trade agreement. However, overall, this is a big net improvement than what we are dealing with. In fact, in some ways, it's actually improvement on NAFTA because there are more IP protections. There's also protections for the e-commerce industry so that you can trade across borders.
For the average American, though, what is the biggest change that they'll see or benefit they'll see because of USMCA?
The biggest benefit with this is really for business certainty. There are some modest improvements from NAFTA from 20 years ago. But the big improvement here is businesses are going to have more certainty on investment. That's highly important. The only way that we see a real increase in standard of living from population increase and from technology. And businesses, if they don't have the certainty to invest, if they don't have the certainty to actually do the long-term planning, that impacts that productivity and that impacts the standard of living for all of us.
Joel Griffith, good to see you. Thank you for joining us this morning.
You.
Tracy, over to you.